Back here on the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. FBI diversity recruitment. What's that all about and what does it mean to you? Well, I've got two guests now who are going to fill us in on all those details. Chad Yarbrough is the Assistant Special Agent in charge. So would that be for the Pittsburgh office of the FBI? Gotcha. And Darkos Cruz is a special agent. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
So we talk about a FBI diversity recruitment event. What does that mean? I know what it sounds like it means, but tell me if I'm right.
Sure. Well, one of the 8 core values of the FBI is diversity.
Okay.
And so that really is our agency for the past few years. And it's really getting a cadre of agents that are similar to the individuals that we encounter on a daily basis. And it's just our strive to, have the most diversified candidates that we can. And this opportunity will allow us to meet them and for them to meet us and talk about the agent program.
Now, let me ask this to both of you, because I think so often when people talk about a career in law enforcement, they think about being a local police officer. And I don't know that they naturally or normally think about the FBI. How'd you end up there?
Well, actually, for me, I was at local law enforcement before.
Okay.
And I always wanted to FBI as the top law enforcement agency. The goal that I had since I was a little kid to always do. So I started with local law enforcement, but always with that goal in mind.
And is that an easy transition or a difficult one?
It's different. It's very different.
Okay.
It's easier because you're already dealing with law enforcement at a different level, but once you get to the FBI, you're dealing with a federal system and many other things that change. But it's easier, I feel like, somebody that doesn't have the law enforcement experience, at least for me.
Okay.
But it's not, it's not that big change.
Okay, all right. So now let's talk about the event itself. Is coming up on, I know I have it here, July 13th.
Correct.
It's at the Circuit Center, which is over on Hot Metal Street. It's from 11 to 1. But who are you looking for? Like, who are the people who should be coming out to this event?
Sure. Well, we hire a wide range of individuals that have to have a bachelor's degree as an initial requirement.
Okay.
We focus on everything from accounting to law degrees to engineering degrees to foreign language. And then we also have a diversified category where you can have any degree as long as you have specialized work experience in that field for 2 to 3 years.
Okay. And then talk to me about age, you got to be physically fit. I mean, what else are you looking for?
Yes, you got to meet physical fitness standards. So you got to take a test every year. Make sure you maintain a physical standard. You got to never convicted of a felony, and some misdemeanors will disqualify you. A valid driver's license, and an extensive background check.
Okay, all right. So when you come out to this event, to the recruitment event, should candidates, should they be bringing resumes? What should they do to prepare for this?
Well, we're more than
are there going to be trick questions?
No, it really is an opportunity for us to get to know people who may have an interest in law enforcement, specifically the FBI. They will need to pre-register to go, so they can do that by going on to FBIjobs.gov and then finding the Pittsburgh DAR recruitment event, which is Diversity Agent Recruitment Event, and then they can register there, and we hope to see them on the 13th.
What has been the most rewarding part of your job? And I'm going to ask you the same question. Or maybe I'll ask you the least rewarding part. What's been
the most rewarding part of my job is protecting the American people. That's what I always wanted to aspire to, is being the FBI, and this calling, it definitely allows me to do that. And so that's the most proud I am of just being part of an agency and a group of other individuals who want that as well.
And was it different than you expected?
It was different than I expected. It's actually better than I expected.
Really?
It really is. Everyone that I work with and supervise and have worked with for many years, all of us have one thing in common, and that's to protect the American public and uphold the Constitution. And I strongly believe that working alongside individuals with that like-minded attitude has just been the most rewarding.
I want to come back to that in a minute, but I want to ask you the same question. What's been the most rewarding part of this experience for you?
Like he said, rewarding is when you see, when you help the local community, your work has an actual impact and you're actually making a difference, and seeing that end result of being able to protect the community and people thanking you for helping them out, that's the most rewarding part for me, because that's why I joined law enforcement and the FBI. At a bigger scale, I can protect the community around the country.
Do you think that most people even know what the FBI does? I mean, I think that everybody knows Federal Bureau of Investigation, they know FBI, but I mean, it's a broad range of services that you provide and offer.
Sure, we investigate everything, obviously, from counterterrorism to foreign counterintelligence to, criminal organizations and the opioid epidemic here locally. So it is a wide range, and so this event will give us an opportunity to explain a little bit more about what we do and dispel any misconceptions that individuals may have about the FBI.
All right, now I want you, sir, to talk to me, but we're really talking to the audience. What would you say to that person who's sitting at home watching this on TV thinking, I should go, but I'm not sure? What would you say to them?
I would say I grew up, and we were actually talking about this before we started. I grew up in a very low-income neighborhood in Miami, and as a kid, I always wanted to be an FBI agent, and I would think, I don't think I can do that, go that far. And I would tell them anything is possible. If that's your goal, go for it. Know how to get there and work hard, and you're going to get there. It doesn't matter your background or where you come from.
And this is specifically a diversity event. So I feel like anyone who's in our viewing audience that meets these requirements needs to put this on their radar. I mean, because you're looking for brown people, yellow people, you're looking for diversity.
Yeah, our investigations take us all around the world and throughout neighborhoods across the country. So bringing that diverse background could be a huge asset, whether it be a foreign language or whether they have some insider, into culture. It truly is an asset to have those individuals on our team.
We got about 30 seconds before we go. I don't want specifics here, but I know the other question that everybody's sitting out there wondering, wonder how much that pays. Are we talking good money? What are we talking?
So it starts out at a GS-10 pay scale. So you could obviously Google GS pay scale, and it'll be at the step 10 level, step 1, 10 step 1. And you can also add 25% on to that pay for what we call availability pay, because agents usually work well over the 40 hours.
Okay, perfect. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to give you the information again on how you can register for this event, because you do need to register ahead of time. We'll also give you information about the alopecia fashion show we talked about earlier, so stick around. We'll be right back.